Hi guys, and welcome to my masterclass. I'm Sarah Lloyd. I'm the owner of Indigo Soul PR, and I'm here to talk to you about busting popular PR myths. So, what is PR anyway, and why does it benefit me? Bill Gates famously said he would spend his last dollar on PR. And have you ever wondered why the world's richest man would invest in PR? There are lots of myths and misconceptions around PR, what it is, what the value can be derived from it, whether it's social media, advertising, marketing. Aren't they all the same kind of thing? Well, actually, no. And I want to bust open some of those myths so you can better understand why Bill Gates would invest his fortune in this seemingly dark art. So, myth number one, you cannot measure PR and it has no connection to sales. That's absolutely wrong. In the past, it may have been hard to measure return on investment into PR, but today's world, with numerous analytical tools at our disposal, you can. Ultimately, it depends on your goals and what platforms and methods you want to adopt, and it depends also on what you want to achieve. So if you want to bolster your social media channels, then an increase in followers and engagement is obviously a clear indicator that you're getting return on investment, especially if you're reposting the coverage that you're receiving in the press. And as for the connection to sales, we have a real example with one of our clients, an unknown author who appeared in the Daily Mail a few months back. She reached over 1 million readers in the main newspaper, and then that was replicated online. We actually tracked the sales of her book, and she received 70 downloads in the first 24 hours. I mean, if that's not an excellent return on investment into that one piece of coverage, I don't know what is. Myth number two, all public relations pros are like Eddie out of Ab Fab. Well, some of us have got similar hair to her and like champagne, but that's kind of where it begins and ends. I'd just like to say it's not fluffy at all. It doesn't involve copious amounts of bolly, glitter or colouring pens either. In fact, I've worked with so many smart, diligent, creative men and women in the industry, many who back in the day would still be making changes to content at midnight the day before a 6 a.m. press conference, and then also being the last to leave a party, but not because they were dancing on the table, but it was really just to scrape up the journalists and the clients and pay the bill. The world has changed so much and the media has shifted dramatically. There are no longer lunches and things like that anymore, but in short, PR people are experts at knowing who to match up your story to what the journalists are talking about. Granted, a little bit of networking and chat does need to happen first, but ultimately we tell stories, interesting stories that capture the imagination enough for that journalist to make it interesting enough for their readers. When you achieve that piece of coverage, of course, in the right publication, it's like a holy grail moment. The value of that third-party endorsement is immense. And that excitement when you see your client in the media absolutely never dulls. It's the thing that gets me going as an individual, and the reason why I do this. Not only a credible journalist covers your story, so that's one person interested in what you have to say, there are often thousands of readers consuming that story on the tube or during their lunch hour that is able to read about your new book or service and then ultimately go and buy book, service, sign up, etc. We can turn what could be deemed as something uninterested at first glance into gold, and finding that gold is a gift and one that can be celebrated with bubbles. Myth number three, PR is easy. Again, unfortunately, that's not true, unless you're Kim Kardashian. Journalists get hundreds of emails a day and they don't actually pick up the phone all that much either. So, and we do have to deal with the junk folder, right? But even particularly engaging stories may not get picked up if they're packaged and presented in the wrong way. And getting publicity is all about the strength of your contacts and the quality of your material. Without both of those things, you're unlikely to get widely featured or even noticed. All is not lost though. If you think you have an amazing story, you need to know what your why. That is the first question you'll get asked, by the way. For example, you make face cream. It smells nice, it's organic, it's the same as everyone else's on face value. But what story can you weave about it to make it interesting to the editor of Cosmo or Natural Health? Was it made using a special plant grown at the top of a mountain in the Andes? Is it an ancient old wives' recipe that's been passed down through your generations? Or is it the bringer of eternal youth, for real? That would be nice. In addition to knowing your why, it's also about the long game. So landing coverage in a national newspaper or even some of the lifestyle media can actually take several punts before you strike gold. It's not impossible though, and there are numbers of ways that we can explore within Shine School that you can address this seemingly untouchable goal. Myth number 4, all PR is good PR. So this is actually one of the most popular myths in PR. You may have heard the saying, today's news is tomorrow's chip wrapping. Not anymore. Not when 70% of media coverage is online, and it never goes away. Ask SeaWorld whether it believes that the Blackfish campaign was good press, or how Ratner's fared after the owner described its product as total crap. SeaWorld has recorded plummeting revenues ever since the damaging Blackfish documentary hit the news, and they've seen visitor numbers cut in half, whereas Ratner's, whose owner suggested that his products were cheaper than an M&S prawn sandwich, but probably won't last as long, saw his valuation drop by a rather considerable 500 million following his gaffe. Make no mistake, bad press is not always good press. But this is where speaking your truth, knowing your facts, and good media training can set you in good stead. So again, all is not lost, and we can help you with that. Myth number 5, press releases is how we tell our story. So everybody knows about the good old press release. Again, the media market has evolved. Press releases aren't always the way into the media. It is a press release effect that is a press release can be an effective way of getting your brand name out there. But what if you want to establish yourself as a thought leader in your industry? There are so many options open to you, and they are endless when it comes to securing coverage in the media. Publications accept all types of content if presented in the right way, going back to the earlier myths. But if the magazine you want to get into favours top 10 tips style articles, for example, then don't send them a press release. The list goes on. There we have it. 5 myths successfully busted. And if you're interested in finding out more, why not sign up? Why not sign up for Shine School to learn how you can do your own PR, or to basically learn a bit more insight into understanding the power it can bring to you. The course is very informative. I'm very hands-on. Just join my Shine tribe on Facebook and book a call. Hopefully see you soon.